I'm Professor Raju Patil. I welcome you all from Mechanical Department, Angadi Engineering College, Belgavi. I welcome you all for the today's morning session. So I will be discussing about metal cutting subject. Okay, what is metal cutting? Metal cutting is known as machining, which is most common phenomena used in manufacturing industries. Every product, big or small, undergoes a machining process to get a final product. In a metal cutting, two terms are very important: orthogonal cutting and this oblique cutting. Orthogonal cutting is a type of cutting in which the cutting tool is perpendicular to the direction of the tool motion. In this type of the flow of chip is perpendicular to the cutting edge. Okay, and this is known as 2D, for 2D cutting, since two forces are involved here. And in oblique cutting, you all can see oblique cutting. This next one is a oblique cutting. You all can see this chip and a tool and a workpiece below that. Okay, direct. So in this type of cutting edge of wedge shape cutting tool uh, makes an angle except right angles to the direction of the tool motion. This will affect the cutting conditions. It is also known as 3D cutting, since three mutually perpendicular forces are involved. So it is known as 3D cutting. So we'll compare orthogonal cutting and oblique cutting here. Cutting angle may make right angle to the direction of the motion in orthogonal. In oblique, cutting angle of tool does not make right angle to the direction of the motion. And in orthogonal, the flow of chip is perpendicular to the cutting edge, and in oblique, the flow of chip is not perpendicular to the cutting edge. So in orthogonal, the tool has lesser cutting life. Chip flow over the tool surface finish is poor. And in oblique cutting, tool has higher cutting life and the chip flow along the sideways surface finish is good. So in orthogonal cutting, two mutually perpendicular forces are involved, and in orthogonal cut and in oblique cutting, three mutually perpendicular forces are involved. So next we'll be discussing about the classification of cutting tools. Classification of cutting tools. You all can see classification of cutting tools here. So single point cutting tool and multi-point cutting tool. So single point cutting tool contains only one main cutting edge in a cutter body, and multi-point cutting tool contain more than one cutting edges in a cutter body. So rate of heat generation and subsequent rise in tool temperature is high in single point cutting tool, and rate of heat generation and subsequent rise in tool temperature is low in uh, multi point cutting tool. Design and fabrication of single point cutting tool is easier, and design and fabrication of multi point cutting tool is difficult. Here material removal rate and productivity are very low, uh, single point cutting tool compared to multi point cutting tool. And multi point cutting tool, it offers higher material removal rate and productivity. Example where we use single point cutting tool: turning tool, shaping tool, planing tool, and slotting tool, etc. So multi point cutting tools are used in milling, cutting, hob, broach, grinding wheel, reamer, knurling tool, etc. So next we'll be discussing about mechanics of orthogonal cuttings. Okay, mechanics of orthogonal cuttings. So here you all can see mechanics of orthogonal cuttings. Mechanics of metal. First of all, what is mechanics of orthogonal cuttings? We'll discuss. Mechanics of metal cutting consists of study of machining process and accurate estimation of dynamic cutting forces by the use of suitable analytical models. So a wedge-shaped tool with a straight cutting edge is made to move relative to the workpiece, and a layer of metal called chip removal, that is chip removal we can say. Okay, so in that different different machining processes may be classified into two categories, that is orthogonal. First of all, we will discuss with orthogonal, a special case of metal cutting where the cutting edge of the tool is arranged in a perpendicular to the direction of relative to the work tool motion. This is called orthogonal cutting. And the fundamental of machining and machine tools, that is continuous chips, and here you can see continuous chips. First of all, we will discuss about continuous chips. Here in the sketch you all can see the slanting position of the chip or in a curve, and at the wedge or edge point where my pen point is seen, that is primary zone of deformation, and above that to the chip, similar to the chip above, if you move, there is a secondary zone of deformation, and this is the workpiece and this is the tool here over here. What the point? So what is continuous chip? A continuous ribbon type, this is formed in a ribbon type. No, see here, ribbon type chip it is formed. Chip is produced during cutting of ductile materials such as low carbon steel, copper, brass and aluminum alloys. The tool presses against the material which is deformed plastically. The material is subjected to both compression and shear. The chip slides over the tool rake face for some distance and then leaves the tool immediately. Friction between the chip and the tool may produce additional deformation of chip material called secondary. You all can see here, friction may cause between the chip and the tool. Chip and the tool are rubbed to each other and friction may occur, and that is nothing but a secondary zone of deformation. Okay, so next we'll be discussing about the size of the primary zone. The size of the primary zone depends upon some factors. Following factors, those are rake angle, cutting speed, properties of working material, friction on rake's face. What is rake angle? Rake angle, the transition of work material into chip is gradual and the material suffers less overall deformation. If rake angle of the tool is large, the cutting forces are small. If the rake angle is small or negative, okay, negative, the material suffers more severe deformation. The cutting forces are also large here. And next we'll go to cutting speed. What is cutting speed? The thickness of the primary zone of the deformation, reduces and zone becomes narrower with the increase of cutting speed. Okay, and work material, the size of the primary zone depends upon the following properties of work material, that is strength, strain hardening, strain rate and heat conductivity. And next one is a friction on a rake face. The size of the both primary and secondary zones of deformation increases due to the increase in friction between the chip and the tool rake face. Okay, so next we'll discuss about continuous chip with built up edge. You all can see this built up edge is nothing but the black color darken here between the tool and the chip is a built up edge. Okay, so what is built up edge? Continuous chip built up edge. The chip slides under heavy pressure on the rake face. Also there is a high temperature between the chip and the tool. Due to high temperature and pressure existing, the chip may stick to the rake face of the tool. The heat of the chip is conducted to the tool at close contact area. The chip becomes stronger and more of deforming work material is attracted. The size of the built up edge, goes on increasing till a critical size, goes on increasing till a critical size, and what happens at the last? It breaks. The broken portion of the built up edge gets embedded in the machined surface or gets attached to the underside of the flowing chip. The building up and breaking of built up edge is a cyclic, and there is a regular embedding of broken built up edge into machined surface. The surface friction is affected. Okay. So next we'll discuss about discontinuous chip. Discontinuous chips, you all can see the discontinuous chips. How is the chip form compared to this continuous and continuous chip with built up edge? You all can see the chips are of different types. Okay. Discontinuous chips are produced during machining of brittle materials such as cast iron and brasses. There is a crack formation in the deformation zone ahead of the cutting edge. The crack travels with further advancement of tool and results in the formation of small lumps of chips. These are the small lumps of the chips. These lumps start moving up the rake face. The rake face, this portion. Okay. Excuse me. So next will be segmented chip. Segmented chip. Okay. What is segmented chip? Segmented chip, the during machining of most engineering materials, segmented chips are produced, which are a combination of continuous chips and discontinuous chips. The shape of these chips depends upon rake angle, cutting speed, and material properties. Okay. Next, we'll be discussing about cutting forces in orthogonal cutting. Cutting forces in orthogonal cutting. So what is cutting forces in orthogonal cutting? You can see here. This is the chip and this is the tool. This is the tool and this joint here. This is the workpiece. Motion of the workpiece is in this way. Okay. Okay. In orthogonal cutting, the resultant force are applied by the tool to the chip lies in a plane normal to the tool cutting edge. This can be determined experimentally by measuring its orthogonal components in the direction of cutting. Okay, in the direction of the cutting we can measure the orthogonal component. Okay, and other normal to the direction of cutting. Okay, with the help of dynamometers, the magnitude of resultant force may be found out as follows. So R is equal to root of F suffix H square plus F suffix V the whole square. Okay. The component of R in the direction of the width B is 0 here. Okay. So geometrical relationship component shear plane angle phi, angle of friction theta, and tool rake angle, that is alpha. Okay. So here next we'll be discussing about discussing about what merchant circle diagram. Okay. merchant cycle diagram. So merchant cycle diagram is over here. Okay, merchant cycle diagram. So merchant cycle diagram is constructed to easy analysis of cutting forces. You all can see the merchant. This is the chip and this is the tool and this is the workpiece. In this we are going to discuss merchant circle diagram. So how we have to draw this merchant circle diagram. Ernst and Merchant do this scientist analysis for first time in 1941 and gives the following relation in 1944. Pi is equal to pi by 4 minus half lambda minus 2, lambda minus alpha. Okay, so merchant circle diagram is constructed to easy analysis of cutting forces acting during orthogonal cutting of workpiece, that is 2D. It is convenient to determine various forces and angles. Assumptions of for this merchant circle diagram: tool edge is sharp. Okay, the work material undergoes deformation across a thin shear plane. There is a uniform distribution of normal and shear stress on shear plane. Work material is rigid and perfectly plastic. Shear angle pi adjusts itself to minimum work. Friction angle lambda remains constant and it is independent of pi. Okay. Chip width remains constant. Chip does not flow side. Chip, what happens? Chip width will be remaining constant here. Solution of this merchant circle diagram: knowing Fc, Ft and alpha, all other component forces can be calculated. You all can see the here F is equal to Fc plus Fc sin alpha plus F suffix t cos alpha. N is equal to Fc cos alpha minus Ft sin alpha. So coefficient of friction will be given as mu is equal to F by N Fc tan alpha minus F suffix t Fc minus Ft tan alpha. Therefore lambda is equal to tan inverse of mu, that is coefficient of friction. On shear plane, F suffix s is equal to Fc cos pi minus Ft sin pi. F suffix n is equal to Fc sin pi plus Ft cos pi. Now Ft is equal to F suffix n cos pi minus F suffix s sin pi. So therefore F suffix c is equal to Fn sin pi plus Fs cos pi. Let pi be the shear angle. Tan pi is equal to r cos alpha by minus divided by 1 minus r sin alpha, where r is equal to uncut chip thickness divided by chip thickness after cut, that is T by Tc. Now shear plane angle As is equal to Bt by sin pi. Average stress on shear plane area R tau s suffix s, that is F suffix s by A suffix s. So therefore sigma s is equal to F suffix h divided by A suffix n. F suffix s is equal to r cos into bracket pi plus lambda minus alpha is equal to Fc is equal to r cos lambda minus alpha. That is Ft is equal to r sin lambda minus alpha. So next one, equation relation difference between forces are easily developed. Limitations of merchant circle diagram. Merchant circle diagram is valid only for the orthogonal cutting. By ratio of f suffix n, F by N. Mersenne circle diagram gives a apparent coefficient of friction. It is based on single shear plane theory. Okay. So next we'll be discussing about the second part, that is parts of lathe machine, accessories of lathe machine, and various operations carried out on a lathe, that will be discussing. Okay, so this is the lathe, you all can see. Okay, you all can see lathe. Lathe is the basic and oldest machine where we can produce products, and these are the oldest things. Okay, you all can see the headstock here, and headstock spindle over here, and the guideways, and the tool post is here. This is the tool post, and tool post is sitting on the apron, and where the carriage, we can carriage below that, there is a carriage which can be moved, or compound rest, we can say a compound rest and carriage, or the this is the whole is nothing but a bed, and a cross slide is there, dead center and live center. Tailstock quill, tailstock quill, you all can see this handle, where handle is shown, this portion is a tailstock, and front of that, where there is a center. Okay, center is there. Okay, center is there, and you all can see the feed rod and lead screw, so screw also, and you all can see all these parts. Okay, and so we'll be discussing about the lathe in a later next session. Okay, thank you for